Hello, I be live. Hi there. Hey, Joycey. I am getting ready. No, I don't want to end the broadcast. Not yet. Put on my other glasses so I can see better. I don't think I have my phone in here. I will be right back. Nope. All right. I am back. Have you had a good weekend? Good. We had a quiet one. I worked all weekend. Or that's what I call it. Oh, we had a quiet one. Shut up. Shut it. Just shut it. I think that'll work. Trying to the eternal attempt to get everything where everybody can see. No cords in the way. Look good. Well, I've had another disappearing object. Not like the DO2s. It's a power cord to my airbrush. So I finally broke down and bought one that has different tips on it so that it can be used for everything. A couple weeks ago, I remember excuse me, putting them in the box carefully to keep them all together. So then now I'm deciding to get my camcorder working again, and I can't find the power cord to it. And that's because we were running around trying to find a power cord to fit the airbrush. And now I can't find the power cord I bought. So ring around the rosy. Here we go. Hi, Ian. I caught a little bit of your horse this morning. It's a horse, of course. See if anybody can tell me what's wrong with my composition. It's kind of funny when you look at it. I don't ask that very often, so y'all better jump in. Yeah, she is looking up here more than here. Now the ball is not centered, and it is here. She's also got a few other painting, drawing issues that I will probably leave alone. The ball is way down here, and I'm not in a mood to change that. Which kind of makes her scrunch. It wouldn't really. She could be sitting behind a table, you know, but not being aligned that way. Now, if I were to paint this for the Cassine competition, I would be way, way, way more careful. I really did get off on that. Oops, maybe I was working on this side. Nope, that doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference. At one point, I was using, here's my excuse, I was using the wrong size image on my iPad than my printout. So there's one of my reasons. I think that sounds like a pretty damn good reason. Always got to have a reason. Oh, I worked. I got stuff done. And I'm working off that. And I can lock that. See, and that's weird. I'm working off a bigger face. Same size face. Oh, joy, joy, joy. I didn't notice that until I went live and down that far for the ball. But like I said, this is a journal. Yeah, I just did this, and I would consider this 75% finished. Her back on the direction she's looking in, her eyes are looking up, but her head is tilted down, and I don't have that yet. Her head is tilted down like this, but her eyes are up, and that's a little bit of a difficult. And that's what makes her nose look so long. And I've got to narrow in here a little bit. And I was messing around with skin colors, and notice I'm just jumping right in here. I'm really off all over the place, but let's see the eyes. Okay, so that's... So now, from the brow line to the bottom of the nose. Then her mouth moves up. Her chin. Okay, now from the brow bone to the bottom of the chin is right there. I'm just going to do it in white till I get this resolved. And okay, now across her. Okay, that's bringing things back into a little more reality. Measure that again to the bottom of the chin. Okay. That looks like she's a bearded lady from the circus. And now her neck is too wide. She looks like a linebacker now. Yeah. Hey, Rachel. I'm fixing this girl I messed up. I didn't mess her up. She was just at a spot where I needed to leave her, so I left her. I'm altering the drawing a little bit, but she was quite a bit off. Measure that nose one more time. One more time. Okay. Now, this is the work I usually do by myself, so it's because it's very slow. Are you working hard today, Miss Rachel? That will fade in, so don't anybody panic. All right, now because of the light, Ian and I were just talking about this. The her head is pointed down, but her eyes are looking up. That's why I'm doing these little things, because it's good practice for me. And I do believe that mouth needs to be just a little bit higher. And that will move that up. And I can have a little bit of this right in here. Okay, we're getting there. Looks like a train wreck now, doesn't it? And y'all know I'm not real good at concentrating on this and on chat. So put them in all caps. The upper lip is almost always in shadow. I picked this because it is a challenge because of the lighting. Blend that in just a little bit. I add just a little bit of Cad Red Medium right there where that light hits. And then she'll get just a full nose like that. Okay, I'll check with you guys now. We'll see. You have to be careful because it may not be the eyes. That one needs to move in just a little. Never white. Yes, hello to the lurkers. Whoops, I think there's something wrong with her eyes there. What do you like she lost one. Come on, ma'am. Gimme, gimme. I've got to add an alizarin crimson to this palette. I've got to wait for that to dry a little bit. She's a gypsy. Let's see what I can do. Aha! I just need some of this dark over here. And this is an old palette of gouache. And it is legal to mix gouache and cassine. Now that looks like rose, which puts me right back where I was. I'm not a believer in using black. There's some real darks. These are watercolors, but it doesn't matter. Come on now. Red, blue, and green. Will make us a nice dark. And so you can tell by the position of her eyebrows that her head is down. Take a deep breath. And the upper lip also tells us that we're in an unusual situation. Covering up my picture. Believe it or not, miniatures or smalls like this can take as much time as a portrait if you're doing them kind of like this. Realism, I guess I should say. She's looking straight at you. Finally got the mouth going in a direction I like. I didn't really intend for her to be pink skinned. I wanted her to look more exotic. And when I quit this little glazing dance I'm doing, and go with thicker paint, it will begin to not sink in. How's that first sentence? Now, if I'm planning on it sinking in right here, it might work. And the other, I don't remember who asked me, I think it was Gail one day, asked me about the difference in gouache and cassine. And the difference to me is, well, it's not really just to me, it's cassine's layers dry quicker, so you can go back over them again. Gouache's layers dissolve easier. It's quite a little bit lighter right here. And that's that reflected light coming off the ball. The chin is just a hair longer. Better. And I kind of like the idea you can't really tell skin color. Now let's work on the ball and give that stuff a chance to do what it's going to do. Dry up a little bit. Now then. Get some of this real darky dark. Gotta have something that the light's coming from. That's not a real hard light, which tells me that the light is coming kind of sort of from inside the ball. I don't know if I got a black with this set or not. I don't think I did. Yep. So we'll just keep muddling along here. That was a nice noise. I don't have any black up there. Okay, I'm just going to carry on. Well, that green that I was using is over here. I got a new logo done. I got 10 videos done for my tapas line. Yeah, that's kind of a good color. All right, now. No. Alright, now there's just a little, and it doesn't have to be all the way, just a little bit of a line. And then that real dark down here. Real dark over here. And flesh color for her thumb. The further the shadow goes, the cast shadow goes out, the softer it becomes. And you have a little bit of a hard edge right in there. All right, now the other shadow, I love doing balls and stuff. I mean, reflective objects. And this part would be reflecting all the white from her. And there are some pinpoint lights. It looks like it could be spotlights or something. These are the little things that make a big painting. I painted a shiny jar one time sitting in front of me, and I kept squinting and squinting and squinting, and I couldn't figure it out what I was looking at, so I just painted the shapes. And I took a picture of it like I always do. And when I got it on the computer and looked at it, it was my reflection in the bottle. So just paint what you see. And I wasn't there when this picture was taken, obviously. Very soft. And now hit it with some white, thick white. And this is where you can, if you want to, leave a very thick paint mark. About like that. Impasto, it's called. All right, now let me get a little bit of refinement on this thumb. Hands actually look pretty good for this kind of a thing. Excuse me for coughing in your face. Y'all can't see. Bad enough that I'm painting itty bitties. There, the ball looks better. Now, let's see what else. I want to do some other play work on her armband. People in the early 1800s, in John Singer Sargent's time, costumed. They costumed up for parties. So this is part of that wage. I think they had more money than they did good sense in those days. Kind of like some folks now. A little bit of green to make that look a little bit more tarnished, like a bronze. Okay, now on to revisiting a little more. How much closer did that? That helped a little. Now I'm only 3/8 of an inch too short, but that's okay. All right, I got a mess over here. So what I did to get this real thin, sheer looking was to just do a glaze. It's almost not even there on her. You can just see a few little bitty marks that make you think it's lace. And that's all we're after here, is the illusion. And you really do have to restate these things over and over with this book and this cassine, and doing it over papers. Can we check with you guys? Hey, Rosemary. Well, Ian, I'll check. It could be up. I just messed up my size. Yep, you're right. I don't know where I was getting all that stuff. But again, this is, okay, so shoulder to chin. It should be out here a little bit. But then that makes up, you have to do the arm, which I can do. And then over here we have chin to shoulder. That one's correct. Well, close enough. Did you get enough water on that? Just remember, Ian, if you're ever in a workshop situation with a tutor doing a demo, you cannot offer your opinion. They will throw you out. A little more white. You can only go so white. You cannot go whiter than white. But what you can do is warm up your white by adding a little bit of yellow. And that's what you see right in here. A little bit of dry brush in here. Very little water in my brush, because I'm beginning to want to move to my other project. And actually, the fact that it blends in a little bit on your first layers makes it fuzzy, soft, and then you can come back and re-add harder strokes for flowers like I'm doing now. And have fun with it. All right, now this little bird's wing or whatever it is, make up stories. She was probably play acting in a summer in the Hamptons deal. Yeah, let's just, for grins, it's ours. We can do whatever we want to with it. Add a little bit of gold. And then some thick sparkles. And I am done with this one for today. Give all that paint a chance to settle in. Yay! She looks all out of kilter there. Y'all can't really see it that good. I think the lace turned out really good. I think the ball turned out really good. The hands aren't bad for what it is. So there is the next to the ending, especially if they're teaching in. I've heard some people get in real trouble. One person that was in a workshop that I sponsored was told over and over again to bring just the colors that the artist tutor used and absolutely no student grade or Cotman paints. And this guy, because you can't duplicate what the artist is doing, isn't that pretty? This is Robyn's May Printables. And on top of that, we are going to put her. And she's kind of pushed this way, so that's the way where we're headed. So anyway, he went around to help this guy, and he was having trouble mixing a color that Mr. DeMille was using. And so Mr. Les looked at his palette and tried to mix it, and he said, "Are you using student grade paint? Because you will never get the color with student grade paint." Well, sure enough, he was using student grade paint, and there was no way that he could duplicate. That's a paint stick, not a pencil. Duplicate what was needed to be duplicated for let me focus. Playing my tricks again. Good enough? There was no way the student could learn anything from that tutor without having the materials. And I've seen elderly men, artists, come into a workshop like that and want to teach the teacher everything they know, and it doesn't go over very good. You're paying a lot of money for a workshop like one of these. I'm just going to do her face first. And you need to be prepared to leave what you know at the door. Or you won't learn anything. And if you're going to pay $1,000 for a week-long workshop, I did another one where people flew in from New York and California, had to not only fly in, but they had to stay in a hotel, buy all their food, so that's the why. If you're just playing around with some friends, that's okay. But you'll make them mad too sometimes. I've done that before. And you and I both know there's more than one way to skin a cat. Brow bone would be about right there. The nose is here. Brow bone is here. Okay. That should be close. And then her eye comes over here. Oops. Eye is here. I've told y'all before, I know, but there may be some folks who haven't heard it. All but the oldest grandson or grandchild got Randy's eyes and their grandmother's eyes. And so that makes, they would be Randy's half, Betsy's quarter, to make them about an eighth. And they got the genetics. Lately, I've been drawing more instead of painting. I think you just did that wrong, but yep, got kind of carried away there, girl. And like that. Close. I'm fascinated by all things Japanese. And then from the eye over here, wait a minute, I lost my train. Here is about right here. And it attaches at the nose and at the eye, which is hidden. So that's about where her ear goes. And then her neck hair comes up about like that. And then from the neck to the back, about right here, about right. And from the chin. Now you know all these measurements only work if what you're measuring from is correct. So that would be out here. And then from there to the back of her back, about right there, which is correct because I can tell by where the hair is. And that's about as far as that will ever go. And then I'll lose my place. How about that? And I think I'm going to turn her right side up here. And I think I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, there we have her. And her face is way off. But that's okay too. That's true, Ian, but until someone finds out what all that is and what their level is and what's right for them, you always benefit from instruction on how someone better than you does things. And that doesn't mean you have to adopt those things. It just means okay, so this so I notice comes out a little more. And so you gather information into your brain and you go home after studying with somebody like that and you practice it, and before too long um, you've thrown out what didn't work for you and you've kept what did. Mm-hmm. And then this comes in like that. Okie doke. I'm doing Cassine again because I am not tired of working with it yet. Have we got a troll? Art as it is, you won't get the attention here because that's my job. How's that? Need a creamy. What a mess, what a mess. I think I'm going to maybe wipe off some space for now. Creamy. I'm going to start with that. Green pencil doesn't bother me because green neutralizes red, and red is the skin tone. So it will all work out. I've got a ton of printables from Randy's mother, things that she collected. And I told you that eye was off, but we'll just move that little puppy right over there. Adjust as you go. And if you're ever interested in painting a little more realism in oil or whatever, it doesn't matter how you get your face on there. I know a lot of professional portrait artists who use every trick they've got. Projectors, tracing, you name it. And that eye ends right there. What's measuring against that fictitious place right there? A lot of them don't admit it. Are y'all working on anything while I'm playing? Can't do a damn thing about it in here. Um, um, um. Chin comes down just a little more. Do, 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 do. Do. See, her upper lip is coming out. So this curve oops. And the eyebrow comes out. I think that's close. Now the nose from that line is there. And then her nose hides the cheekbone. That's close. You just don't want to make any hard to fix goofs at this point. This is just kind of a block in. And now that eyebrow It's right here. I should have had it turned right side up to begin with. And it ends right there. So it starts and then it ends like that. Don't get too diddly. And the other thing, if I were doing a real painting, I would be using a big brush. So y'all seen me do this enough. You just don't want to get ahead of yourself. And that. Okay, I'm going to see what y'all are doing here. No, I haven't, Ian. Hi, Dr. Victor. I think the reason is because it would have to be thinned down quite a bit. And egg temper, and casein, either one, are not really, that's not really their function because they were done with real small brushes and small spaces. I mean, egg temper works with size 8 brushes, which is something that I would love to do, which is why I don't do it yet. I want to continue trying to loosen up, which I'm not doing a very good job on these, but right from there to there. See, we're close right there, so we weren't far off, guys and gals. Well, hello, darling. How you doing? And let's measure from there to there. Eyeball to the chin. We are very close. And then from the chin up, that's what we've got to make sure of. From here to here is where her neck is. About like that. Yeah, yeah is yeah. Hmm. 5:06. I had more fun on the fortune teller than I intended. Here. I need some more pink. Her thing ends about right there. Thing. Okay. There's her neck. Verticals. Okay. Got pink on my brush, so I'm going to deposit it right there. And we have green coming down. And that goes all the way to the back, which is a swoop. About like that. We had, for the longest time, I'm just going to bring that on down, a wedding kimono from the Kazama family, which, okay, close, was the family name. And I painted it on a model one time. So I've got that, and then we gave it to Betsy because it comes out a little bit further, so we can bring it out about like that. We just don't have room. Okay, now I need a pretty purple. And see, oh, I need to get, I'll use this green, the green from my powder. Needs to be a little bit darker. Yeah, that's good. I know it's good. Okay, now we've got this is the back. Something about like that. And this color, let me double check this. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're good. See the color. Let's see, we go up in here. And we come down here with a dark. As dark as I've got. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. I'm gonna leave kind of some pseudo paint arounds. I need to mix more paint. Because knowing how long it takes for this paint to get white back on it. You know how many layers I have to put on it to get back to a light color? I'm going to try to and below the chin down to there. It's about right in here. It doesn't matter that the paint doesn't match. Because you don't really want it to. Real close. Painting what I see. Yeah, let's. I don't know. I'm gonna fold this. Not there where where the page is, and that will help me. Help me, help me. Get over here. So we're going to come down around that little fan. Excuse me. Place that fan is there, and then we're coming down. Sorry. Ah. Can't really see her back arm, so. Yeah, I know. Get a drink of water, damn it. Quit coughing. All right. We need some more dark hair. And I'm going to do a drink of water. If I were planning for real, I would have paid attention to where that word is hitting her right at her eye. I might have done it anyway, but just working with the mud on my palette. My purple. Come on, give me some more. I think I just painted over her ear. And I did. How about that? Hold my beer and watch this shit. It's okay, I'll put a nickel in the tip jar. All right. Now that's not a bad block in. I did plan this because it was dark here and I kind of just want to let that blend into that color. That sounds like a puppy. All right, what y'all doing? Big brush painting. Well, that would amount to, I mean, you can underpaint with cassine and then put oil on top. I don't know why you would, though. I don't know. Do some research on that. Inform us. Most of the cassines I've seen have been fairly small-ish. Ow. Not put your finger in the... All right, let's do some work on her little face. This little plum color I have mixed up over here is kind of good. Yeah. Inky. And this kind of comes down in here under that ear. Skin color, I mean, that'll work. Just kind of blend that in a little bit, and then and she's got the sweetest little bit of reflected shadow. Let's see her. It's really white. Or and then that color is right here. You really can't tell if she's geisha'd up. Made a new word. She could be. especially looking right in here. But this is a greenish, so that would never do. But she can be just whatever we want her to be. And I don't care how much white paste you put on, you're going to have some reflected skin color under. Neighborhood kids must be out. Alrighty. Now I'm going to blend this just a little. Put a little bit more of that back in. A little different color. She's still got a great big old nose. And that would have to do with that. I'm really pleased with the way the casein lasts on the palette. I'll get it out all in one thought here in a minute. And she doesn't have geisha lips. No geisha makeup. Close. It's working, it's working, it's working. The link for Robyn's McClendon's printables is below in the description. It's $6 for a baker's dozen. Downloadable, and you'll have them to download and play with anytime you want. Alrighty, I think I'm getting a little bit tired. Nose comes up. Let me get a little more nose. Can't tell if I'm seeing double. Oh, that's that was the swoop I made with the brush. All right. I think I'm going to quit, guys. It is 5:35. So 2 hours is a good session. Like I said, I don't know when they take their pictures, but we'll let that sit. Visit with y'all just a minute. Anybody have any questions? Y'all are troopers for staying in. She's not bad, not bad, not bad. Happy with that for our first session. It's pretty good. Pretty good angle. And these Asian letters over here are perfect. Perfectamundo. I'm happy. Happy Cappy. Sneak another look at our yeah, she's still off and the color's still bad, but we'll work on that. I may not bore y'all with it. I'll show you. This is one that I've printed. This is another one. I don't know. I might need to do another charcoal. And then you've seen that one. And maybe that one. I love painting statues too. And there's Rachel's papers. And here's Robyn's. This area right in here on her face, I can come back in and darken the background. And that'll help a whole lot get that where it shows. Coolio. Oh, I didn't tell y'all I got hired by the census. I'll be making $23 an hour to sit at home and call people. So it won't interfere with my otherwise lazy schedule. And because of COVID, you don't go around and knock on doors. If you do anything, you go around and leave a brochure. So 8 weeks of $23 an hour, I can work as many hours as I want. It's a pretty good deal for an old retired person. Thanks, Joycey. I enjoy spending time with you guys too. I'll put that down now. When will they take their picture? I've got my Timmy mats. I'm not sure how to use them yet for what I do, but we'll figure it out because I just had to have them. Okie doke. I'm going to sign off. Sayonara. Bye-bye.